Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Line proudly presents to you another exciting edition of The Woke! Turning on the woke. This episode is brought to you by Yentas Unlimited. Are you a bitter, lonely woman looking for fake friends? Have you aged like the lovely Rosie O'Donnell, looking like the second coming of Keith Olbermann? Katie Poo! If you can't find a man to embrace you on those long nights of the winter, join the other lonely women by becoming a Yenta. Yentas Unlimited is the newest app for finding lonely friends. Swipe right on profiles you like. Swipe left when you see a beautiful woman wearing a Trump tee. Within weeks, we guarantee you'll find like-minded Yentas willing to let you smell their boodle breeze. The first 30 days are free. After that, it's only $10 to spread your gloom. If you sign up today, we will send you a certified replica of Joy Reid's broom. Download Yentas Unlimited from the App Store. Oh, the divas are officially dueling on The View. You know, I used to say this all the time, but haven't said it in a while. If you're a young, aspiring wanker spanker, if you dream of becoming a deacon at Woke United Methodist, let Uncle Casey give you a free piece of valuable advice. There is no loyalty in the woke movement. These people are not your friends. They don't care about you. They only care about what you can do for them. Once you are baptized and born again, once you are properly trained to spread the good word and preach the woke faith, everything will be great for a while. You'll be invited to Thanksgiving dinner to complain about those racist pilgrims and their white privilege, which allowed them to confiscate the land belonging to the Guardians. You'll be invited to the Butt Bongo Festival where you'll complain about there not being enough room on the flag to represent every color of the rainbow. You'll be given free tickets to The View where you'll be surrounded with other lonely women enjoying the fresh fragrance of the boodle breeze. Now, what's great about this benefit? You never know what you're going to smell. All depends on what the whoopee cushion has consumed and how high she can crank her leg to ensure maximum wins are achieved. Even though life might seem great for a while, even though it feels like you're part of an exclusive club of flatulence, it's all an illusion. It's a mirage. Because the first time you step out of line, the first time you defy the directives of the lead Yenta, you will be ostracized. You will be yelled at. You will be embarrassed on national television. In one extreme case, I heard about someone who was accused of violating the policy on proper pronouns for having the audacity to point a birthing person with a beard in the direction of the men's restroom. Unfortunately for Alyssa Farah Griffin, the great pretender, the pretending Yenta, unfortunately for AFG, she has chosen to learn the hard way that there is no loyalty in the woke movement. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Later today, I'm going to be posting my personal nominations for the upcoming Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards in the community tab here on YouTube. I'm going to let you guys vote on my personal nomination. Whoever receives the most votes, that will be my personal nominee and the first nominee for the upcoming HEF Awards next month. Here in the next week or so, I'm going to have you guys email me your nominations. I'll tally up the votes like I did last year, and the top 4, along with my personal nominee, will be the 5 nominees for the HEF Awards this year. Let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, Patriots by Design. With there being so many woke companies, a lot of people, they are looking for brands that align with their personal values, brands that are patriotic. Doesn't get more patriotic than Patriots by Design. One of my favorite items offered by Patriots by Design, it's their Trump wall art. Here's an example right here. This is the Trumper and Melania looking happy, which I am sure is incredibly shocking to the woke media. Winter is right around the corner. The weather is getting colder. If your wife is anything like my wife, she's constantly freezing. Hell, my wife is cold during the summer. Warm your wife up with a hoodie blanket from Patriots by Design. They also offer car seat covers for veterans that are available for every branch of the military. Free shipping is available everywhere in the United States. So click the the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10. Receive 10% off your first purchase with Patriots by Design. Headline at Mediaite. Kinda. Sun Hostin clashes with the great pretender over the motive of Trump voters. You know, I gotta be honest with you, I'm really disappointed in my favorite Yenta, Asuncion. Sure, you guys have noticed, I no longer refer to my sweet Sun as the radiant Yenta. Sun used to be able to light up a room with her fake smile. Lonely women sitting in the front row, they would catch a second-hand tan as long as the radiance was powerful enough to get through the fog of the boodle breeze. When discussing topics that were important to her personally, topics like mythical racism and mythical misogyny, or comparing the Trumper to Adolf, floating radical theories about the media receiving free tickets to summer camp, only to arrive to find out that summer camp is really a re-education camp. In the past, when my son was discussing these fantasies, she had this special radiance about her. She looked so happy with her natural ability to lie with a radiant smile. But over the past couple of weeks, I have noticed that once elegant radiance of my son has been dimmed. Her illusion of light has turned to darkness. My inside sources, they are still trying to determine the cause of this tragedy. Perhaps the bitterness of the whoopee cushion has dimmed Sun's light. Maybe the constant anger of Big Red Joy Behar has put a damper on my son's radiance. Or maybe, just maybe, the Trumper winning the election in a landslide has exposed the real Sun Hostin. Yesterday morning on The Garbage, the ladies were once again discussing the election. I don't know if the ladies know this, but the election was 2 weeks ago. I know the media likes to drag out the results. I know they prefer elections to last for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, but the rest of us, we knew the results 2 weeks ago. And you lost. America rejected the woke wiener. Your ideology, it has been pushed back into the shadows. And if you don't believe me, just look at your television ratings. No one is watching you. The ladies were reacting to an article in the Wall Street Journal that claimed that Americans identify themselves more with their economic class than they do with race and gender. Now, normal people were not surprised by this, but for some reason, this revelation was incredibly shocking to Asuncion. She tried to dispute this well-researched article in the Wall Street Journal with twisted narratives and propaganda. Sun got behind the pulpit to explain that racism and misogyny still exist. She droned on and on for what seemed like forever. It was only a minute or so, but anytime Sun Hostin is whining about mythical racism, it feels like you're listening to an hour-long sermon from Reverend Al. Alyssa Farah Griffin, she noticed that the television audience was quickly changing the channel, so she decided to interject. She tried to explain to Sun Hostin how wrong she was. She tried to speak common sense with the illogical Sun. Basically, the great pretender, she decided to stop pretending and start getting real. Unsurprisingly, Sun Hostin had an allergic reaction to the truth. The symptoms of stage 4 OMB. Orange Man bad! The symptoms of OMB completely took over, which resulted in a clashing of the Yentas. Watch it for yourself.
I just, I know that as a country, it's very difficult for people to believe that racism and misogyny, they're just alive and well. I think that we don't want to think that about ourselves, our neighbors, our friends. There's a clear racial divide in who voted for Trump as opposed to who voted for Kamala Harris. It's very clear. It's not only clear by race, but it's also clear by education. And so the notion somehow that that is not true, this is by education. Those who attended college voted for her at a higher degree than those that didn't.
If you really think the vast majority of this country voted because of racism and misogyny.
You're missing it.
Most of my family,
a
lot of my family doesn't have college degrees.
But the stats are the stats.
But that's not, it doesn't say I voted for Donald Trump because of racism. That's not, let me hear that. What stat are you talking about?
Let me just dissect the two.
Yes, you can. There's a lot
Hold on. Calm down, everybody. Just take a breath. Take a breath.
First of all, let me address this false notion that the educated voted for Cam and the uneducated voted for the orange. The word educated should be removed here and replaced with indoctrinated. I am sure the vast majority of current and former students at Woke U voted for Cam Harris. But have you ever noticed they never explain why? They never explain why so many indoctrinated college students vote the way they are told to vote. Maybe it's because colleges and universities are no longer places that allow diversity of thought. Maybe it's because college professors demonize anyone who doesn't support their preferred candidate. I wish Alyssa Farah Griffin had noticed Sunny Hostin contradicting herself. College graduation rates for black students, it has increased by 5% in the last few years. Yet for some reason, a lot of those black people voted for the Trumper. Also, Sunny Hostin claimed that the black community continues to struggle financially. But if they're graduating from college at increased rates, why are they struggling financially? It's racism, damn it! Maybe they are receiving useless degrees. Or maybe, just maybe, they are struggling financially because everyone is struggling financially. Maybe they realize that these woke policies weren't doing shit for their bank account. Maybe they realize they have been lied to. Maybe they came to the realization that voting for a candidate based solely on race and gender is not going to help them financially. So instead of doing that, they voted for the candidate who helped them prosper during his first term. Even though Sunny Hostin wants to pretend like this is some big mystery, even though she wants to pretend it's racism and misogyny, it's really not that hard to figure this out. You selected the wrong candidate 4 years ago. Then you turned around and lied to us for the last 4 years. You did not have a primary so people could challenge Johnny B. Biden. Then you selected Cam Harris as the replacement loser, thinking that the rest of the country would vote for Cam so she could accomplish another first. What the mainstream media didn't realize is no one gave a shit about another first. Here we are 2 weeks later, and the media is still having trouble accepting responsibility for their own huge embarrassing failure. They want to blame you, they want to blame me, they want to blame racism, they want to blame misogyny, they want to blame Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Dana White, when the reality is, the mainstream media has no one to blame but themselves. Give me your thoughts on this. Sunny Hostin, Alyssa Farah Griffin, they engage in another catfight. Tensions seem to be reaching record highs on The View. Are we on the verge of a breakup? Could the Yentas be heading for divorce? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Best way to contact me is through email, btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.